Hello, this is Tom, aka Gedeon, here for Star Frontiers Gamer and Tabletop Tap Room with a Fanzine Friday number 55, which means we're reviewing Frontier Explorer number 30, which is right here. Frontier Explorer number 30, issue 30. This is a equipment heavy issue, to be honest. So we'll probably cover a lot of the magazine fairly fast without going into details. If you're looking for that particular piece of equipment, you'll go dig into it yourself. But there are some interesting things here for gameplay. And the first off is the scouting yacht, the SS Space Angel. This is a yacht that's owned by a rich individual NPC. This is written up by Richard Rose Shadow Shack, and he's giving you this whole ship with its owners and the captain, not the whole crew, but the captain, as a ship that you could introduce into your game at any point in your game, because there's a potential here that, like, the player characters might get hired on as crew. The captain functions as kind of a Captain Nemo. He's going to direct things, but it'll be the players that go ashore and do stuff. So this is a great little write-up of a assault scout converted to a space yacht for civilian use by a rich owner who has bought it. But Richard didn't stop there. He then wrote us the surplus assault scout hull. So basically a surplus decommissioned assault scout hull. Maybe the particular assault scout has been shot up in battle way too many times. Stress analysis says build new. And so this would be a surplus hull, and he deck plan right up for it. Absolutely. Just Richard being thorough. Always appreciate that. And I love this here. Typical opening bids are about 150,000 credits. We should blow this up so it's a little more readable. There we go. And so another great article opening this up. Then we get a Death in Port, a Royal Marines Crime Investigation Service adventure. Now, the author's note here that I wrote this adventure is heavily borrowed from a TV drama episode written by Christopher Ambrose, Jonathan I. Kidd, and Sonia Winton. I wanted to give them credit because I kind of just ripped off the plot from an NCIS episode. I believe it was an NCIS episode, not a JAG episode. Maybe I say something more here in the article about that. But that said, you get a 2-page adventure here it's an investigative adventure. And because it's only 2 pages, you're really only talking about one evening of gameplay. So if you're playing this around the kitchen table, this is a 3 or 4 hour session, basically. It shouldn't even take that long. But with an epilogue and even a mugshot. Awesome mugshot done by Jerry Boucher. So then we get into to boldly expand the frontier with new species and new civilizations. Very Star Trek sounding, if I don't say so myself. And that is because I took 2 classic Star Trek races, filed the serial numbers off, and converted them for Star Frontiers use. You get the Andalorians, not the Andorians. The Andalorians have white skin and blue hair, which is just a little bit different from the Andorians, which are blue-skinned with white hair and antennas. They have an abrasive, militaristic type society, very much like the Andorians. And then you get the Kellarites, which were those kind of pig-faced miner dudes in the original Star Trek. And so I just quick and dirty conversions, filing serial numbers off. So you could use these if you like them in your Star Frontiers game. Why not? Then the Art of the Crossover by R.J. McDonough. This is an article going into the crossover, he talks about how he was first inspired to crossovers when he first got his, as a kid, first got his hands on the AD&D Dungeon Master's Guide. And there's a little section hidden in the middle of it about converting AD&D to Boot Hill and Gamma World. And that inflamed his imagination. So, this is a good 2-page article discussing crossovers with Star Frontiers. So handy if you're thinking about that. Handling random creatures, Joseph Kabat asks, who is nothing if not thorough. Love this guy. Whole article just going into nuts and bolts, ins and outs of random creature encounters, with accounting for creature size, accounting for, whether it's a carnivore, omnivore, herbivore, other factors. And then he went into references, which I thought was good because it's always good. In case you want to go back and double check his work, go back and check those references. Next up is field emitter arrays and communication dishes, the Frontier in Miniature. This is a kit bash of junk for miniatures, and so I just go into doing these field emitter arrays and antenna dishes. There's a little power generator, transformer, pair of battery here, and they're with miniatures for scale. And so I just give you a little tutorial on that. And I'm essentially using coffee stir sticks, disposable razor handles, and a ping pong ball for this kit bash. So ridiculously simple build. Oh, and on these little field emitter arrays here. So these coffee stirs, this little design is like a pool balls in the rack. And for, so that's what that design is, but it's kind of got a nice, presented this way, it's got a nice sci-fi feel. Now, the colors there on the red, yellow, and the green, that is transparent paint, Vallejo transparent paint. And what I have discovered, you get these nice luminous effects with that transparent paint. It's how I paint the screens to spacesuit masks. If a character's wearing a monocle, I will use the green on the monocle. And what I do for a glass effect, for a very luminous glass effect like this, is I will dry brush the spot silver or hand paint this location silver, and then I will paint over it with the transparent paint. What then happens is light passes through the transparent paint, bounces off the silver, filters back through the transparent paint, so you get this very almost like glassy surface look because the light is passing through it and coming back at your eye through the filter of the transparent paint, bouncing off the silver. And so that's how I achieve that effect there. And like I said, the Vallejo model color transparent paints, they're absolutely wonderful. They're just absolutely wonderful to use. I use them for all my glass type effects. And I actually did a very credible brown beer whiskey bottle once with the transparent brown. I don't believe silver was the undercolor, but again, a wonderful technical paint. Highly recommend it. Love the Vallejo transparent paints. And then next up is our Ecology of article from Eric Windsor. And this time the Jurak Hangna team is visiting Hakosar, and we get a map of Hakosar. Eric provided us a world map of Hakosar, and great write-up on these Gath sea trees in the oceans of Hakosar. So very cool. And that should actually provide you, there's GM notes, that should provide you with some ideas for encounters, how you would use that creature in encounters. for the player characters. And then a new release out at this time, back in 2020, for Frontier Space Gremlins from Holman Design Group. I have not read this module yet. I have read the first one in the series and did a video review on it. Excellent material. Looking forward to checking out the other modules in the Holman Design Group's Frontier Space line of modules. Then we get Titan Rising comic in the middle, if you follow that. Then we start getting into really crunchy equipment and tools and so on, with Disarming Things That Go Boom. This is the Things That Go Boom series by Joseph Cabadass, and just starting equipment, basic demolition toolkit, elite bomb squad kit, supplemental gear, computerized support. And we're going to get into suits here. Demolitions. All right, here we go. Blast suits. He expands. Life X disposal suit. Plastic armored suit. I mean, he just kind of goes on and on and on. So there's a lot of nuts and bolts. There's goodies here. If you're into the gadgets, if you're running a game where you're doing the whole visiting queue to get the goodies, James Bond visits queue to get the goodies. And so you get issued equipment by the overarching, company, employer, player characters, so, lots of stuff here that you could incorporate into that. Bio-robotic prosthetics for the bomber who gets his hand blown off. Game use, bomb baskets, bomb disposal equipment, just super thorough. And I suspect much of this, because, he's actually using real world pictures here, but much of this is these items exist in the real world. And he just said that needs to exist in Star Frontiers. So he worked up stats for it and a description. And super, super thorough. Then we get into gyrojet weapons, also called hissers, by Richard Ferris. Gray Mist is his handle. An alternate frontier. And I love this article when you get a topic heading, why hissers suck. Disadvantages in parentheses. Why hissers rule. Advantages. So again, just thorough article for you. Lots of gadgets to pick through here. Armor piercing, rocket ammunition, high explosive, nuts and bolts, all sorts of goodies for the player characters. Great image here by Jerry Boucher. And then we get into, and I love my favorite title in the whole issue, Pimp My Needler. Thank you, Oscar Rios, for that. Pimp My Needler. It makes me want to read it. I want to read this before I read the hissers. I just, the title sells it. But breathing new life into an old favorite. And I can say Oscar likes the Needler weapons because his verse character has repeatedly used Needler weapons in my game. So excellent article by Oscar. And then we get into new equipment, protective gear. And this is, we got a lot of bomb blast suits by Joseph in the Disarming Things That Go Boom article. He's doing another whole protective. So you have asbestos suits, you have desert survival suits, breathing mask, explorers, DDS, advanced desert survival suit, optional mask. I mean, just super thorough of oddball things that you could need in the frontier. You visit a desert planet, you're going to need some of these desert survival suits. All right, Personal Restraints for Star Frontiers by Oscar again. Thank you, Oscar. This was a needed article, and it addresses personal restraints by species, which I think is important. So you have restraints for humans, you have restraints for Versk and for Drolocytes. He then goes into powered restraints, electro restraints, and freeing prisoners. Then we get to my favorite article of the whole issue, which is food trucks on the frontier. Now, what you get with this is you get a little bit of fluff, a little bit of culture to the frontier, because we're designing food trucks, and we go into cuisine a little bit, cuisine for Yazarians, a cuisine for Drolocytes. So that creates a little bit of culture that didn't exist before. So that was fun. But you get a whole food truck designed with an NPC. And because it's not just about, ooh, what's on the menu? I'm getting a krick kebab, which that's there, sure. But it's about the NPC and the rumors he might say, because going to the food truck is also about talking and engaging with the NPC. So here you have this Kebab King's Core 4 Kebabs. And it's a hover food truck run by Korzan, who's a Yazarian male, goes by the moniker Kebab King. He is a skilled chef and specializes in kebab-style cuisine for the core 4 species of the frontier. His Drolocyte and Versk vegetarian and insect kebabs are considered good, but the human and Yazarian barbecue offerings are all the rage. All inquiries as to where to eat will almost invariably draw a recommendation to try Kebab King. He wears a tough quick hide leather apron that functions as a 10-point sky suit from the front. And he has 1D5 knife-sized Yazarian Kadan type blades. So the Kadan is designed on the real world kukuri knife, the Gurkha knife. Looks like that, but it's sword sized. So these are actually a knife-sized version, not what I would consider a kukuri knife, which you take out and be chopping trees. This is just a knife for food prep. And because of that nice, heavy, swept blade, he's doing the meat cleaver thing on the meat to make his kebabs. But he's got these knives, and just like the Kadan, which can be thrown in combat, these knives obviously can also be thrown in combat. But we've also written in something here that he uses these knives for food prep, and he's got a Zamra dangling on a chain at his belt. And as the former planetary knife-throwing champion of Morgaine's world, he is lethal with thrown weapons. He is level 6 and has a dex of 80. Do the math. That's a 100% chance to hit. Although in Star Frontiers, there's no such thing as a 100% chance. 97, 98, 98, 99, and 100 are automatic misses. So basically, he's hitting people 97% of the time with a thrown weapon. You piss him off, he's gonna stick you with a knife from across the room. So it's just a little something I put in there for the NPC. We go into the menu, prices for skewers, different types of kebabs available, and then sauces. There's a little one letter code telling you whether that sauce is a human sauce, human cuisine sauce, or Yazarian cuisine sauce, so on and so forth. And then rumors. This is where the rubber meets the road. Korzan is surprisingly affable for a Yazarian unless you insult his food. Do not criticize the monkey's food. He knows all of his customers by name and their typical order. He also has his finger on the pulse of what is going on around town, whether politics, news, crime, expeditions, heading into the black of space. Basically, he's well plugged into the rumor mill and will know the best rumors. That is going to be for the Game Master to produce. The next food truck is Vim Atoni Soup and Sandwich. And I thought it would be fun, like Ratatouille, to grab one of the Vim species from the Star Frontiersmen, and because they're a very minor species, um, you know, and they're basically an anthropomorphized rat. I thought it'd be fun to have one of them run the food truck. And so Zix is a Vim female. She's awkward and oblivious to social cues. Her cooking skills are passable, but on a bad day, quality will slip. She tries to offer core 4 cuisine, but her Drolosite menu items are universally bad. So then when I discuss rumors for her, she is, rumors. Gangs are a problem in the Rook Hill Arcology neighborhood. She lives in the Rook Hill Arcology, so she's going to want to talk to you about the gang violence going on in her neighborhood, as well as in other lower income housing arcologies in the Port Lauren area. She's concerned with the poor and underclass in town, and if quizzed for rumors or adventure opportunities, will recommend poor and downtrodden individuals in desperate need with little ability to pay. Basically, she's going to offer a team equalizer type of scenarios for the player characters. So that's that. And then the last one is Rosie's Slush. Well, no, Johan's Dumpling Wagon, but let's skip that and go right to Rosie's Slush. Rosie's Slush is a robot pushed slush cart. And I just want to point out this artwork by Aaron is awesome. And even though that's supposed to be an anthropomorphic robot and you're supposed to be able to tell it's a robot, and he didn't convey that so much in the artwork, I didn't go back to him and ask him to change it because look at that creepy look on her face. I love that. I thought that was so cool. I says, no, we don't want this changed. Keep it. So you have this push cart, and basically Rosie is a level 5 robot, which makes her pretty smart. But she uses her chronocom and a connection to the net and the public library to basically carry on conversation, small talk with people who try to talk to her. So if you go to her for rumors, basically all you're going to get is whatever publicly available information the game master wants you to know. You're not going to get really in-depth rumors, but you're going to get kind of fluff background, basic stuff, whatever the game master needs you to know for that particular session type of thing. So I loved writing these up and creating these. They're designed explicitly for Port Lauren, but you could drop them anywhere, or you could use them as a pattern and create your own. So this actually was the most fun, and I love the artwork that Aaron came up with us. I mean, and he went over and above board for such a short article. I love what he did. It's just great artwork here throughout. And then, of course, the color picture of Rosie's Slush. What a creepy look on that robot's face. Absolutely creepy. I thought that was fantastic. And then the last is the Escape Plan comic, episode 18. You can read that for yourself. Oh, Frontier Explorer number 30. It's the fall issue of 2020. And it is a definite equipment heavy issue. Lots of goodies, lots of stuff, but you have you've got a 2-page adventure, probably a good evening at the dinner table running that investigation. And then you've got the food trucks on the frontier, which provides you with NPCs, a little bit of culture in that you're getting the food cuisine culture coming through a little bit. And you've got a mechanism now for adding rumors that the players may begin to tie into if you introduce these in the right way. I think you can actually get the players in the habit of going by the food trucks and looking for rumors and finding out, what's the rumor of the day, buddy? Kebab King, what's the rumor of the day? He's going to give you the hot new rumor, the hot new information, the hot new opportunity. And the players can actually pick up a couple of different opportunity rumors, pick the one they want, and you go with that. So you could totally sandbox this. So Frontier Explorer, fun issue, lots of goodies in it, some starships, equipment, adventures, great stuff, and even a planetary map for Hakosar in the Ecology of article. So this is Tom signing out for Tabletop Tap Room with a great little issue, great resource for you. Check it out. And thanks for watching the video. Thanks to my subscribers. And I will see you in the frontier.